sense. I would want you to kind of, as much as possible. So I would want you to kind of make a note of this. What I'm trying to do is actually kind of give you a broad idea. And let me tell you, this table might be helpful to half of you, other half I don't know. But if you stay in the top 8 to 10,000 in the country, I can give you this, because there's 75,000 students are writing CLAT exam in India, or law entrances in general. And our goal is not to kind of give you names to every thing, right? So the idea is to kind of give you an idea to at least the top. If you don't stay in the top 10% in the country, top 20% in the country, believe me, I'm not sure law is the right thing for you, just because you are doing. So you have to understand that. Anyway, yes. Yes, Lakshmi is asking a question. Bharati Vidyapit has its own entrance exam. Yes, they have its own entrance exam. And but like I told you, you have to kind of check. For example, there's some law schools which have their own entrance exam, but they still kind of look at CLAT or LSAT. There's some exams which they kind of check only their score. So you have to be very cautious, check with them. For example, ICFA Hyderabad also has its own exam, but then they also take CLAT or LSAT. So you need to check with them. Bharati Vidyapit has its own exam called BVP set, right? That's true. That's correct, Lakshmi. Okay, let's come back to the thing. All India rank prediction and suggested law schools. What we have done is we basically gave you a broad idea. So what kind of targets you can have if you are staying in this. Let me tell you, someone who is in the top 1,000 ranks in the predicted rank. Yes, Gautam, we have to wait because of CLAT. Yes, definitely the numbers could come down. Till last year it was around 70,000. This time it would have come down. Gautam says 15,000 people have applied for CLAT. Let's see. Yes, I agree. So out of those people, out of those 59,000, Gautam, we are only talking about those who are in the top 8 to 10,000. If you are beyond that, I'm not in this table. We cannot give you that. You have to reach out to us. But if you're in the top 1,000, we suggest you kind of target top 10 NLUs, top 7 to 10 NLUs, and you need not worry about any. For example, one thing that you can think of, for example, is you can get into top 10 NLUs, so you might not have a lot of other. You don't need to have a lot of options. For example, Pune, Symbiosis Pune, Symbiosis Noida, ILET, etc. could be an option for you. And writing exams, you can still write LSAT, but I don't think you have a need. LSAT is only Jindal Global Law School, and in the non-CLAT NLUs, non-NLU CLAT distinct, Nirma Narsimoji will come, but that we have put in the next rank. Next rank, for example, 1,000 to 3,000. If you are able to get a 1,000 to 3,000 rank, predicted rank right now, I think you will definitely get one of the NLU seats. You have a chance to get into one of the NLU seats, maybe at least in the, if not in the first list, second, third list, definitely got to one of the NLU seats. And there you have to take Nirma and NMIMS very seriously. I just gave a list of non-NLU CLAT based colleges. Believe me, these are very good schools. These are equivalent to top 10, top 15 law schools in India, NMIMS and Nirma Law School, particularly Ahmedabad based Nirma University Law School. You have to apply to them, take the deadline, find that and apply to them. If you are in that range, that's a very good option for you. And again, Symbiosis Pune, Noida only. LSAT, MHAT you can write for GLC, Mumbai, ILS, Pune, you can think of it seriously. And these are others are only meant for supplementary. They are not the main goals. Please understand this. Then if you are in the top 3,000 to 8,000, we call you the average kids. See, 1,000 and 1,000 to 3,000 are above average good kids. 3,000 to 8,000 is okay situation. Are good. You can still get good schools, but do not you have to work hard to be in the other ranges. But at least this range you can get some good schools. For example, you can talk about in NLUs, it's possible for you to get seats still if you're in the 3,000 to 8,000, but please understand, you cannot get a general category seat. You have to either have a domicile seat or any category seat or vacant seats. For example, I hope you all know, this is something that Abhyas Law Prep is very popular for. Every year after the CLAT counseling happens, there are first, second, third, fourth lists. There are some vacant seats available. Sometimes some NLUs, some of the seats are not filled, particularly the after the top 3, top 5. And every school has some number of seats available. In fact, last year, I think even in Nalsar, some of the top 3 law schools also one seat was available in that. Whenever something like that is done, they kind of give you a notification separately, and that notification, that data is very precious and they have to be known to you immediately. If you do not know that, if you do not do that, you would be gone, because the time is very small. They kind of give it and say 48, 72 hours within 1 week, within 3-4 days. So we at Abhyas Law Prep take it extra effort. In fact, that's why you see on Google also, when you kind of look at vacant seats, our thing comes first. We kind of do vacant seat analysis, vacant seat descriptions, etc. Abhyas Law Prep is number 1. We do the best in that. So we'll keep you updated, but you can get vacant seats also only if you're in the top 3 to 8,000. If you're beyond 8,000, vacancy is also very difficult. Right? So Nirma is NMIMS is possible. Shastra Law School, Vellore, ICFI, these kind of schools are good for you. Other exams you can think of is TT is possible in exam. OU, Lakshmi Raju, you're right. OU for the state law. State law, if you put VC, we put in others. They are not the main goal, but you can always do that. OU in law is good, but I would say that's only suitable for you if you are in the next range. As I said, in top beyond 3000, Lakshmi, I would suggest you to Akshat. Sorry, you can prefer OU for law only if you are not in the top two cluster, third cluster onward. That's a good idea. Yes, on even Ramakrishna. That's what I'm saying. Any university law school, university college under the state CET is useful for you if you're in the third or fourth cluster, not in the first two clusters. Please note that. You need to, right. You please be in touch. You will get all the updates. Now, if you're beyond 8,000, I'll tell you that is a problematic situation, friends, because that is not something that we believe ALPN should be kind of targeting. If you're beyond 8,000, it means you're not in the top 10 to 15% of the aspirants. You really do not have great options, and that's where you all talk about various options. I'm saying please do not fall into trap and kind of go to any school that calls you. That is particularly, in fact, the top three clusters. But top two clusters, I'm sure you have clarity. You would have a lot of options. Third cluster, you have some clarity. You can definitely get updates from us. But fourth cluster, I'm telling you, friends, please do not make decisions in law schools without talking to professionals like us. Come to us. We are here to help you. We'll give you a broad guidance, and based on your prediction, we'll be able to give you. So Shastra, and these are some good schools. And Symbiosis, ICFI, Kitty, all these are possible. LawSet, as many of you are asking, Andhra University, I mean, that is AP LawSet, all these are good universities, OU Law School. So I'm saying, based on, again, I'm telling you what school is good. If you ask me just a question of a blank check kind of question, I believe me, I cannot give an answer in a public forum, because I can tell you bad about a school, I can tell you good about school. I'm not going to talk about it here. I'm going to only talk about a fit. If is it fit for you or not depends on what your performance is, what your ranking is. I know the law school ranking, but what about your ranking? If someone who is in the, let me ask you the simple question. If someone got top 100 rank in CLAT, top 100 rank in CLAT exam, now will that student even consider a 6th, 7th rank NLU? You tell me. All India rank top 100. Now, if they ask a question, is NLU someone asked me, Gujarat, Gandhinagar NLU, is it good for me? Someone in the top 100 asked me, what answer should I give you? Gujarat NLU is like top 5, top 6 NLUs, right? Top 6 NLU. And it is in the top 5, 6 NLUs, definitely Gujarat GNLU. It's this thing. But if someone who is in the top 100 in the country, if they ask me what should I give the answer, GNLU is good or bad? GNLU by itself is great. It's in the top 10 law schools in the country. But please understand, someone is the top 100, they need not consider that as suitable for them. It's not best fit for them. They have options like Nalsar is there. They have better options. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think it is based on your performance also. So my goal is for you to understand how to make a choice. So please do not rush in. The idea is not to give you what is good, what is bad. It is about giving you a broad idea of which law schools are suitable for what range. I hope this gives you some information at least. Again, I'm telling you, at our place, we do something called, we have an entire booklet every year we publish this. By the way, why don't we give this? This is every year this is done. We have a booklet on this thing. We have a 40-50 page booklet, but we do not give it to students and parents. You know why? If we give it to you, you know what? Your CLAT preparation will go aside. Only this you will give. Already without us telling, also so many questions are coming. The reason is you enjoy. This is like intellectual time pass. You like doing all this instead of focusing on the main thing. We are professionals. Leave it to us. Come to us. Get your questions, sit with us, take a one-on-one counseling, talk to us in this corona times. Again, Akshit will say, sir, how is it possible? If it is corona times, we cannot do one-on-one. If not in person, call us, tell us all the questions we ask, give us the answers. We will be able to give you an idea of which schools to apply, which schools to target based on the situation. So that information we do, instead of you doing Googling and researching and so much of other things. Yes, you still have to, the final decision is yours. Final decision is yours, your parents, but take broad understanding. Yes, you need to be alert. Yes, good. Okay. Gautam says, I'm good with the old CLAT pattern. Which other exams follow, but still not still. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Gautam, if you are in the top, if your rank is more than 10,000 right now, that means you're in the 4th category in the table. Simple, Gautam. Let's be honest about it. It is not good for us to kind of understand by trying to kind of, it's good to honestly say where we are. You're good with old pattern. You might have a great chance with highlight. You might have a great chance with SLAT, like that. But let's kind of understand this. But based on your current situation, Gautam, you're in the 4th cluster. But work hard. If you're around 10,000, I'm sure you can work a little better and at least get to the 3rd cluster. You can get to the 3rd cluster with clarity here. So that's what I would say, Gautam. So please work hard. There's one more month time. Believe me, it is not very difficult for you to. Those who are in the 10,000, you can get into top 5,000. It's not a big deal, let me tell you. If you are all India rank 10,000, Gautam, maybe getting top 100 or top 1,000 might look a little difficult thing. But from 10,000, I've seen students make it to top 3,000, 4,000 very easily, Gautam. It's possible. Remember this. And who knows, you might even touch 1,000. I don't know about 100, but even 1,000 is possible. So please work on it. Don't give up. That's very important. All of you, I'm saying, those who are in the 10,000 cluster or 8,000 cluster, 12,000 cluster. Work on it to get it. At least you can keep improving your cluster. That's what I would want to say. Okay, good. Apart from, I know you're all asking questions on X university, Y university, but I hope the session is being focused more on how to. How to? Is it helpful? Are you finding it useful? Are we going fine, friends? Can you quickly tell me? If you find this useful, are you finding it useful? Because based on it, the next things that I'm going to bring to you are more helpful that way. Jyoti Samya says, okay. Jyoti, you're my student. I'll tell you one thing. You should never use the words like okay. You should always say good. You should always say great. No, sir. You should be very clear. Right? No, no, okay, okay. Huh? Okay, right.